I was the subject of a hit piece. One of the things she accused me of was propagating scientific racism. And I responded to this charge. I prefer the term human genomics. And if that really won't do for you, you could at least say race science. And I want to know what I mean by race science. Here's this paper from 2020. It's in a magazine. It's called Science, actually. How anyone writes a paper like that with a straight face, because like you read the abstract and you're like, oh my God. We basically feel that like African Americans are about like 90% Homo sapiens and like 10% like something else that branched off like a million years ago. And you're just like, whoa, like, to say that you would assume that these, very different genetic mixes produce the same thing is like really odd, right? And so, it's like what you realize when you're looking at human races is you sort of think, you're supposed to think, oh, well, we were all this small band of humans that were all absolutely the same until like 45,000 years ago. And then we spread out of Africa and just like evolved in different directions. And some of us evolved white skin because we lived in very dank forests where we needed a lot of vitamin D and all of that. And that's not actually really what you're looking at with human races. You're looking at variations between African and European. It's pretty comparable to the difference between like a poodle and a coyote. And so like the idea that basically you're able to convince the world that can build like computer chips and so forth, that we should basically, our prior should be that we expect poodles and coyotes to have the same behavioral characteristics and like to be like indistinguishable. And, if you raise a coyote in a family of poodles, it will like bark and, do all the poodle things. And like, that's just not the way dogs work. And we know enough about canids to know that that's not the way dogs work.